right, this is a whole animated short of Batman versus Jason Voorhees, and it's from the Nexus. I remember reacting to this channel a little bit ago. This channel did did a whole series of Batman versus different characters, but it was more of just like his contingency plan, like him explaining what he's gonna do against Jason. This one seems like a whole animated short, so something a little different. Like he's upgraded the channel, doing something a little bit more than just explaining how Batman would defeat an enemy. So this will be interesting. What was the ones I did? I think I did the contingency plan against the Predator, Batman versus, I think it was Art the Clown, and some other ones. But this one's it looks like a whole animated short. The thumbnail showed Batman and Jason Voorhees facing off. So let's just see here. If this is a whole animated short, that's going to be sick. And I think Batman can win. Batman defeated Superman, so the possibilities are pretty high. Oh, here we go. With no suit?
This isn't right. Alfred, the forest just went quiet. Something's here.
You have visual confirmation.
Oh, shoot.
Batman's contingency plan. Gotham never stays quiet. When it does, it's because something has already started. 3 weeks without homicides,
Ooh, I like how
no
Batman
bank
looked
robberies,
there.
no Joker, no Riddler, none of the usual spectacles. Alfred brought me a clipping from the Gazette teenage girl missing from a summer camp near Blair County on the New Jersey border. Young face, smile frozen in a Polaroid. The 8th victim in 17 years. Geographic pattern, always the same lake, always from June to August, always around the new moon. Local cops filed it as drownings. Bodies never found. Witnesses talk of someone on the shore, figure in a mask, movement in the water. Reports dismissed as hysteria. But there's too much consistency. Consistency is data. Data is the entry point.
Now, if Batman fought Bruce,
cape.
If Jason did fight Bruce there earlier when they showed that in the forest,
the land
I would go for Jason. But Batman suited up, ready to go, I'll take Batman. But yeah, that earlier clip they showed there, I'm like, okay, yeah, Bruce might be losing that unless he got some gadgets on him that we don't know about.
Charity project. Abandoned gas station 3 miles from the lake. Broken windows, rusted pump, stench of mildew and rotting wood. Back door forced open. Stains on the concrete rust? No. Preliminary analysis. Degraded hemoglobin, about 6 months old. Drag marks consistent with a 60-kilo body. Ends at the tree line, heading northeast. Toward the lake.
Why would he investigate
as
Bruce? That's the question. Why ain't going in his bed? Batman.
Wrong kind of silence. No birds, no insects. Heavy air. Noticeable static electricity. At the center, the boathouse.
That's the one slip up Batman has. He's investigating
pilings,
as Bruce.
Half submerged. Loose planks. Inside, an improvised altar, not religious. Personal. Faded photo of a woman holding a child. Burned out candle. Dead flowers. Around it, totems. Necklaces left by visitors. Handwritten notes. Please don't hurt me. Sorry. I remember you. Fear as an offering. I scraped a wood sample. Anomalous organic composition. Unknown biofilm. Lake water alkaline pH. Traces of manganese, but something else.
Shout out to the Nexus. They do a really good job with these animations.
Peak at 18 hertzes.
He can make his own TV show.
Frequency that induces panic. Natural? Unlikely at that intensity. Back in the Batcave, I cross-referenced the data. 17 cycles. Always. After a territory violation, teens breaking in. Underground party. Nosy visitors. Always followed by a disappearance. Surviving witnesses describe a persistent figure. White hockey mask. Axe or long blade.
Jason.
Impossible underwater movement. Resists. Wounds. Doesn't speak. Doesn't negotiate. Just executes. Paranormal hypothesis dismissed by protocol, but the data forced a review. Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, there's no
name
talk.
tied to the lake since 1957. Child with cranial deformity. Neglected.
And that is one thing
drowned,
I gotta say, I'm so glad the movies never changed about the character. You know how when time goes on, Jason's been out since what, the 80s? 1980, I think it was. But usually, like some franchises, when times change, they change some things about the character. That's one thing they did not do with Jason. In 2009, they made him more aggressive, I guess. Yeah, because that brother was moving, like especially in the beginning of that Friday the 13th. But even with the little changes there about making him more aggressive when he goes to his victims, they didn't change the fact of making him someone that's talking now. All of a sudden, he's making conversation. I'm glad. Don't do that. Keep him the way he is. I love the quiet focus. Him and Michael. Michael has that same attitude as well. And even in time, they haven't changed that. Some characters don't need that. I understand certain characters, they want to make a few updates to them. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I'm glad with these characters, they don't. Keep it just the way it is. It works. Don't change it. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
All counselors fucked. Body never recovered. The mother, Pamela Voorhees, carried out a massacre in 1958 ritual revenge, killed by decapitation. The son reappeared years later. The cycle repeats. Not a ghost, not a zombie in the classic sense. It's a bond. Territory is a closed circuit. Memory is fuel. Fear is reinforcement. Jason is the executor of a ritual without a ritualist. He is the ritual. The logic is simple. Fixed stage lake divided by boathouse. Emotional trigger. Maternal memory divided by territorial intrusion. Collective amplifier. Perpetuated local trauma. Each death feeds the legend. Each legend draws new intruders. Each intrusion reactivates the cycle. No need for candles or grimoires. Just repetition. Territory. Remembrance. Physical containment fails because the anchor remains. Chains snap. Cells rot. He returns. Always returns. So the protocol has two acts.
Breakdown how it matches
First,
with the
break
animation
the supernatural anchor. Second, contain the body. In that order.
Wonder how much work it took to do all
I
this.
mounted the operation in 48 hours. Electromagnetic field mesh around the boathouse Faraday cage, disguised as an environmental repair structure. 12 underwater emitters, frequencies between 12 and 22 hertzes. Counterpoint infrasound, destructive interference in the lake's natural field. Inaudible, but enough to detune the call. Reflection removal. Spectral LED floodlights, positioned to kill shadows in the water. No reflection, no symbolic mirror. Metal surfaces covered with absorbent material. Directed silence. Low, amplitude white noise generators, masking organic sounds that reinforce presence. Breathing, movement, heartbeat. Totem neutralization. Remove necklaces, notes, flowers. No dramatic destruction, just removal. Symbols lose power without an audience. The mother's photo was trickier.
Why he
I
would go as
digitized
Bruce,
it, removed the original,
investigating
replaced
when
it with a degraded replica. Didn't
Batman
erase the
would not
memory,
do that.
just weakened the bond. Final component,
And the Force
acoustic
by
inversion.
himself.
Synthesized
Swamp,
modulation
whatever.
based on the original 18 hertzes and projected a mirrored frequency, not magic. Psychoacoustics. Cancellation waves. Engineering against enchantment. Trap set. I entered as Bruce. No cape, no mask. Deliberate bait. He came at dusk.
It would be
Emerged
bait
from the
regardless.
water
I don't
without a
know.
sound.
Okay, they now answered why he went as Bruce. Jason wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. That's not someone you have to, I guess, disguise yourself as bait. Let me be Bruce Wayne as bait. You can go as Bruce Wayne, Batman, the Hulk, Iron Man, Wolverine. Jason wouldn't care. You know, that doesn't matter. You could have went as Batman and Jason would have approached you just the same. Just saying.
Broad shoulders, cracked mask, machete rusted long as my forearm. Slow, inevitable movement. I struck first. Punch to the solar plexus, forced to shatter ribs. He didn't even budge. Counterattack lateral swing, blade slicing air, dodged by inches. Smell of muck and decay. Second hit, knee to the patella. Human femur
Like
can't
design
take
of
300
Jason.
kilos of pressure. He stumbled, didn't fall. Third, elbow to the base of the skull. Lethal technique. He turned his head, slow, like he was sizing me up. Then he clocked me. Impact to the sternum. I flew 3 meters, slammed into a tree.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Cracked rib,
I was about to say he didn't
Partially
break a
collapsed
bone doing
lung.
that.
blurred vision.
Again, this is
advanced.
why he should have came
No
as
rush.
Batman.
Execution. Not a fight. I rolled, triggered the flare. Tactical evac. I survived because he doesn't pursue beyond the territory. Not yet. Returned 72 hours later. As Batman. Data confirmed. Containment without breaking the anchor is useless. Tested expanding polymer foam, the same that immobilizes Bane. Jason tore through it in 90 seconds, snapping the polymers like wet paper. The anchor was still active.
I like how they went with the
territory
Zack
still
Snyder
called.
Batman look.
So I activated the
Ben
full
Affleck's
protocol.
Batman.
Emitters at max. Faraday field operational. Totems removed. Reflections dead. I waited in the boathouse. Reinforced armor. Non-lethal arsenal prepped. This time, with the anchor weakened. He emerged again. Slower. Uncertain movement. Hesitation the first ever recorded. The mesh was working. He was still solid. Still dangerous. But the bond was vibrating wrong. Off-key. Attacked with surgical precision. Directed explosives on the boathouse pilings. Calculated collapse. The structure crumbled onto him. Wood and metal. Used the chaos. Graphene harpoons. Tungsten cables. Anchors fixed to submerged rock. Not to kill him. To immobilize him long enough. He fought. Monstrous strength. Even weakened. Snapped 2 cables. But this time, I wasn't unarmed Bruce Wayne. I was Batman. Full armor. Tactical arsenal. And Jason doesn't fight like the others. His first strike. Impossible speed. Machete in a downward arc. Blocked with armored forearm impact rang like an anvil. Counter. Hydraulic punch to the sternum. He staggered back. 1 step. Switched tactics. Lateral movement. 3 Muay Thai kicks to the knee. He stumbled. Fired steel cable around his neck. Electric winch pull. He yanked back, dragging me across the wood before I released. Tungsten net. Tore through it in seconds. Electro spurs 50,000 volts. Convulsed, but didn't stop. Blade whistled past my jugular, by inches. But the emitters held the interference. The supernatural link, what makes him invincible, fuels his monstrous strength. His impossible resilience was corrupting. Territory failing. Memory distorted. The anchor sustaining him bleeding out. He faltered. Critical moment. Activated silver. Veil. 4-meter containment sphere triple wall. Inner layer of total sensory deprivation.
I was about to say, you're
No
going to have to
light,
lock him
no
in.
sound. No vibration.
Killing him is not going to do
Middle
it. People have
cryogenic
tried.
cooling layer.
Batman doesn't kill,
Outer
so you
absolute
definitely got
Faraday
to
shell.
trap him.
Submersible. Hermetic. Designed to completely isolate the occupant from any external stimulus. With the anchor broken, containment became effective. He went in. I sealed it. Sank the sphere to the lake's deepest point, 120 meters. Anaerobic muck. Total darkness. Not dead. Contained. Isolated. 3 days later, I extracted the sphere. Transported to a remote facility. Geological underwater pit in the North
You
Atlantic.
double check to make sure he's in there
3,000
still, right?
meters deep. Constant temperature. 2 degrees Celsius. Extreme salinity. Triple Faraday cages. Total absence of reflections, no light, no sound,
That's
no
the
echo.
best way to keep
Safety
him.
redundancies. If the sphere fails, it sinks to the abyssal zone. If he escapes, controlled detonation of the original site, boathouse, camp, territorial landmarks. No stage, no return. I cataloged the rules. Territorial anchor. Jason needs the lake. Without it, he weakens. Memorial trigger. The mother's memory activates him. Breaking totems dilutes the intensity. Collective reinforcement. Fear feeds the cycle. Silence breaks the narrative. Physical limitation. Even weakened, superhuman resilience. Containment requires total sensory deprivation. Persistence. Doesn't die, just hibernates. I didn't kill him. I won't cross that line, not even for this. But I didn't free him.
Anyway, he always comes back.
I can't. Future lives depend on it. He's contained. Monitored. Isolated from everything that makes him tick. Not a prison. Ontological quarantine. Gotham went back to its usual noise. Alfred didn't ask about Blair County. Just changed the dressing on my ribs and poured tea. The lake stays empty. No legend, no totems, no fear. For now. Some believe monsters can't be stopped. That the supernatural is beyond reason. That ancient forces always win. They're wrong. Doesn't matter if it's magic, ritual, or immortal cycle. Everything runs on rules. Everything has structure. Everything can be understood, dismantled, contained. I've dedicated my life to it, not just Gotham's criminals, but anything that threatens the innocent, human or not, alive or not. If it can kill, I can stop it. I'm not just a detective, not just a vigilante. I'm the preparation the impossible didn't see coming. The contingency for what shouldn't exist. The line between chaos and order, the line I never cross, but defend with everything I've got. Other heroes trust power. I trust method. Jason Voorhees was inevitable, until he wasn't. Because I'm the Batman, and the Batman always has a plan.
That was good. Oops, sorry. I like that. I like how it was all animated. Like, it was different this time than his other videos. Like you see right there, He'll explain stuff in his Batcave, show his gadgets. Every now and then show little short clips, but nothing as long as this. And that's the best way to do it. There are some characters, especially if you're not one that kills, where you're going to have to figure out how to contain them. Him or her, whoever it is. That's why I said that when they had a Batman versus Wolverine, not this channel, it was another channel. And at first I said Batman had no chance, but I'm like, you know what? He has a chance if he can find a way to contain Wolverine. He can make a magnetic room and keep him stuck there. And there will literally be nothing Wolverine can do to get out of it. But, you know, that's a tough order. You got to get Logan to be in that situation. Because Logan ain't dumb. No matter how some projects make it look like he is, he's not. But, yeah, I like that a lot. Jason, I love him. Head up, like what it was with Bruce Wayne. Even with the strategies, that wouldn't work. And let's just say Bruce should be glad that's all it was a crushed rib. Because that punch, that could have made him paralyzed and messed up his back and all that. But him going as Bruce Wayne wouldn't have mattered. He should have went Batman straight up right off the bat. But, you know, it is what it is. He got blessed that all it was cracked ribs and he wasn't sitting there or worse, knocked out and Jason's there. That would have been the worst thing too. But hey, the Bat wins again. But I love this channel. I love how he's going now more animated short. It was a long one too. Almost 13 minutes. So yeah, definitely go check him out. Give him a sub, give him a like. Did I like the video? Yeah, I did. Okay. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in. That was pretty cool. I'll see you later.